because in this randomizer tourney, they've seen so many different sprites, unlike last year's tourney. So, yes, we're gonna see a vanilla sprite randomizer.
I mean, as a commentator who hasn't seen all of the sprites yet, I mean, it's fun to see the new sprites, and then the palettes start changing when they pick up the tunics, and I'm like, is that a blue tunic? Is that a red tunic? Sometimes it's clear, sometimes not so much. So I'm perfectly fine to see the vanilla sprite here.
Space Cowboy armed with his sign.
That's right. In open mode, you don't start with that sword, so finding anything to fight with can be it's what you got to do basically to get by. And signposts actually do pretty good damage.
Oh yeah. And looks like Uncle had pocket change.
Yep, no sword. No sword at the Uncle. So they're going to have to find it or something somewhere else. Bombs, a very common early method of fighting, but maybe you'll find a bow or a hammer or a cane of Samaria. Lots of things can be used as combat weapons in replacement of a sword.
So far it's just all the money.
Well, money, you can buy bombs and fight with those, so it's a roundabout way. It's slow. It's not what you want, but it's something. Players taking a similar route here. It's not uncommon to see players diverge this early on in the randomizer. V26 is shaking things up quite a bit, but they are going to be going the same way. They're checking these tree poles. They're hoping maybe for bombs or some other good stuff.
Oh, he didn't lift the hoarder to see what items it drops. Let's see. Oh, red rupee.
So much money. This is one of my favorite new things that's entered this speedrun meta. Is what item do you get from the fleeing crab?
And I'm not sure they want that one green rupee.
No, probably not worth the effort of going all the way through Aghanim's tower. Off into the Lost Woods now. SaltyPhry a little bit ahead. But Space Cowboy has a lot more rupees thanks to chasing that poor crab around.
Oh yeah, he knows this crab's got the goods.
2 crabs now actually sitting pretty on 282 rupees. It's always possible that Zora is going to be needed early on, and 500 whopping rupees required for that. But beyond that, you also just want him early for bottle vendor to buy bombs. Pretty important early on here.
Yeah. Well, he's gotta be careful. He only has half a heart, Space Cowboy here.
On the one hand, it's one of the least dangerous enemies that you're up against, but on the other, you've got Green Mail, 3 hearts, Boots, waiting to be found in Kakariko Village. SaltyPhry's first one to find him. He's missing 2 rupees, I think, to buy bombs.
Oh yeah, he is.
So he's gonna probably try to find some under a bush, or hey, he got 1 bomb. He can open that up for this thing to get more bombs, and then with this multiplying bomb count, you can go ahead and start looting some of these areas behind cracked walls in Kakariko.
Exactly right, chat. What are those?
We've seen a number of bootless seeds here in the past couple matches in the tournament. It will be nice to have them if you're one of the players in this match, for sure.
That was actually smart of SaltyPhry, because that row where he got that bomb is it's like usually about 50% chance of getting it. So he didn't have enough rupees to get the bombs, but he quickly figured out a way to get more bombs.
Yeah, Space Cowboy did have the rupees, so he went straight to the shop and bought them. One of the luxuries of chasing down those poor crabs. He also gets to do bottle vendor, and he finds
probably wants that. It's so bad.
It's so bad, but it's so good for lifting heavy objects and opening up lots of places on the overworld, including Death Mountain, if you're okay with a couple dark rooms. It's technically a sequence break without the lantern, but still pretty easy to get through there without the lantern. And ooh, Moon Pearl.
Wow.
Some good items. Yep.
Now I think both of them are thinking, I just need a way to get into Dark World now. That's pretty much. Well, Space Cowboy's definitely thinking that.
Yeah. A hammer would go such a long way for these players in opening up new places to check.
Once he gets those rupees, which I'm pretty sure SaltyPhry will get. Yep, plenty of rupees here. Even in Blind's Hut above, those are blue rupees in those pots, so he was definitely going to get. Oh, wow!
Nice Moon Pearl. How about a mirror?
Oh.
Combo them together. Explore the Dark World. You just gotta get there first.
Having mirror early is just so nice for helping you enter and exit dungeons, especially when you can't complete them, but it makes the trips more easier.
SaltyPhry does remember to double back with his newfound rupees to check Bottle Vendor. Boy, is he gonna be glad he did. Look how close the players are.
It kind of routed it a little bit differently, but now they're back to in sync here.
The only real difference is Space Cowboy sitting on more bombs and more rupees.
Yep.
Race item is just a little shield.
Nope, they don't want it.
Fireball shield, I think, pretty useful. There's a lot of situations where fireballs will still hit you for 1 damage through whatever mail upgrade you have. And that could be pretty handy, especially if you're stuck fighting blind, like when you're low on hearts or something. But is it worth, 20 plus 30 maybe seconds to go all the way through that race and get it? I don't know.
Our first route divergence of some sort.
Yep, Space Cowboy is headed to Dam. Going to be using the mirror to delete those blocks as they move.
They both got 50 rupees, so... Not sure who's ahead on that one.
They're managing to stay in sync of sorts. SaltyPhry heading to the back half of Escape.
Oh, I love Lamp.
Space Cowboy now... and the hammer in the Escape. Wow. So Lantern was pretty good. It's pretty good. Acts as a fire source, lights up a lot of annoying dark places. There's some really nasty places that you don't want to have to do in the dark if you can stand it. But hammer almost always required. I think there's just so many places where the hammer is needed that it's impossible for it to be not required.
Yeah, it's like 4 dungeons plus. You have to have this hammer. There's no way that you can't have hammer to finish the game.
A death for Space Cowboy.
Well, that might lead him to, I don't know. Is he going to go back? Oh, he's going straight back. I was thinking he might have changed his route, but the minute he went back to his house, I was like, okay. And look, we're in Hype Cave.
Yeah, this is a really early Hype Cave. They're not even 10 minutes in, and they're already into this glorious cache of items that so far is nothing, but could very well... Not panning out.
Nope.
Space Cowboy trying to wrangle these mini Moldorms with these bombs, long distance attack.
Just gotta grab that one.
Ooh, we got a map.
We go.
I think Meyer was a pendant, and the rest were all crystals.
Looks like that.
Did we even see a Light World map? I think the Dark World map was the first map we saw.
Yeah, we didn't even see the Light World map.
Moldorm Cave, nothing but money, but at least a blue tunic. That's a little something.
Yeah. Yeah. SaltyPhry makes it into the dam. He's gonna be able to collect his lamp as well.
Space Cowboy does not have a sword, so he's trying to charge through some of these enemies that, guess what? You can't.
Yep.
Crab wanted a piece of him. Crabs will do 1 damage, I guess, now that he has his blue mail.
Yep. Damage reduction. Well, he's still being careful not to run into them, avoiding them.
After that 1 death, he's probably a little mindful about how much health he has.
Oh, the bottle with the bee.
All right, opening up one more item possibility from Sick Kid and Kakariko. I think we're probably going to see a fake flippers play here from Cowboy, whereas SaltyPhry, I mean, gloves, hammer, moon pearl, mirror means you can go damn near anywhere on the overworld.
Yep. Well, he's gonna take out his trusty hammer here. Can save those bombs. Oh, wow.
They're so tricky. They're so fast, and he doesn't have that blue mail yet, so he took a fair bit of damage there. Is going to opt to use the bombs for the other ones.
Oh, that worked nicely though. See that? 2 for 1. Oh,
yep. Down
don't
to
pop
1.
yourself though.
Down to 1. You want to sort of cook the bombs a little bit so that the explosion happens as soon as you throw it, and it gives the Moldorm less time to run away. But you hold it too long, you blow yourself up.
To call it game 1 is kind of interesting. It's more like this is their first match of their tournament life, you can say. Then yes, you can call it game 1 then.
They're both 0-0 so far in the tournament, and this is a Swiss tournament. So what happens is one of these guys will win and go 1-0, and one of them will lose and go 0-1. And the people who went 1-0 will kind of get paired with each other for the next matches. Generally speaking, sometimes it's a little weird, and and a 5-4 faces off against a 4-5 or something just because it didn't line up properly. But generally, you're going to be competing against people who are doing about as well as you are in the tournament, and you go multiple rounds. The people who perform the best move on to the final stage, which is single elimination, maybe, but probably like at least a best of 3. Honestly, not sure. Haven't thought that far ahead.
We got some intel on what Lake Hylia Island held, though.
Oh, I missed it. What is it?
Chat knows it was the Silver Arrows.
Hey, that's something. And they got that mirror.
Yep. So once they trek over to Darkwood with some flippers over there, they can get those Silver Arrows if they want them. Yeah, no key. Space Cowboy can't go that route.
SaltyPhry down to 1 heart. He is very nervous about the Zora and the crab.
He's going back to Hobo, I think. Nice.
Yeah, Space Cowboy did not check this Hobo.
And this is the way to go to Hobo. Saving his life. Jesus water. It's a smart move. I mean, here you go.
Can you imagine this Hobo just like half asleep, wakes up and just sees this man sprinting across the water wearing a yellow hat? Hey, look, excuse me, I'm in a really big hurry. I just wanted to know if you had something for me. What you got? Nope. 10 arrows. Okay, not very good, but oh well, I'll take it. Bye. And then phases out of existence right in front of him.
Oh, yeah. He's probably wondering, I'd like to know how to do that so I can get out of this bridge area. I think I've been stuck here all my life.
He like climbed down there and set up camp and was like, well, this is fun. And then found out you can't really go home anymore.
Yep.
So the players have kind of equaled up a little bit. Space Cowboy's been to escape to get that hammer. SaltyPhry has been to Zoran Waterfall Cave. And yeah, they're pretty much equal. Space Cowboy's checking out Hype Cave, and after that, he too might head towards Sahasrarla's shed where SaltyPhry is.
Oh, now he has enough money and the red mail.
Just wishing he did this first. All of a sudden, he's got enough money to pay King Zora, and he was just over there. It's a pretty far away location. You really don't want to have to make 2 trips there.
Maybe Sick Kid is an option for him now, since he did pick up the bottle, so let's see what he does.
With Boots as well, he's got these bonk rock situations on both sides of Sanctuary. He's running right past him.
Maybe an Old Man Death Mountain trip now.
Like I said, he's found so many things that let him traverse the overworld. He can... Who knows where they're going to go next? Space Cowboy's going to get the Stump Kid. You can mirror and maybe try to dig something up. Well, no shovel, but lots of things. Crystals 5 and 6 appear to be in the light world.
Oh, yeah, because we got those pendants. There's Thieves and Mire, right?
Yep, Thieves and Mire, and also neither of them is green. So the light world has both special crystals and the special pendant.
Wow. That should make tracking easy.
Yep. The tracker's already picked up on Tower of Hera being the green pendant, Eastern and Desert being crystals 5, 6.
Yep.
Our tracker today is Who42 Baker, by the way. Gotta give those shoutouts.
Nice. We get a vanilla digging game here.
Oh, you counted up to the 15?
Yep, looks like it.
SaltyPhry is headed up to Death Mountain. Old Man didn't really have much for him, but there's plenty of places left to check.
Oh yeah, he has access to check all of East because he has that hammer and mirror. And he could finish Hera if he wanted to. It's basically the hammer is going to be his main weapon for it all.
Yeah, thankfully, Hammer, one of the only 2 things that will damage Moldorm. Either that or one of the various swords required to hit that tail. So he is going to go ahead and go inside Tower of Hera. Pretty sure he would have checked the map to have gone inside. Either way, he'll hear the music, so he'll know it is a pendant dungeon if Salty is paying attention.
Oh, well, he doesn't have to do basement just yet, so let's see if he gets lucky here.
Thankfully, is actually able to do the basement if it is required, thanks to that early lamp.
And Space Cowboy might be making a play to Skull Woods here.
All the places he can go, and he heads to Skull Woods without the fire rod, huh?
Yep. He's probably watched Christos enough times.
I've heard people say some things about Skull Woods where they're like, oh, Skull Woods had another key item again. Oh, it's always got a key item. And I had no idea it was such a hot spot. Yeah, look, someone in chat right away. Well, of course, it's V26. Of course I go to Skull Woods.
Yeah. Going to Skull. Well, he already found one item, so he can just peace out if he finds the other one real quickly here.
Not going to find it in that chest, just the compass. Salty finds a heart piece. And Tower of Hera have been keeping track of the items.
He has a key now, so he can also go to the basement. But let's see if Moldorm drops the item, and then he doesn't have to go to the basement.
It's a pretty quick kill with the hammer, but this is a fight where even if you can mop the floor with him very quickly, he can just as easily end you by pushing you off this platform.
Oh.
The hammer's got this wind up to it. Makes it pretty tricky to hit some squirrely enemies like Moldorm.
Oh, wow. Get back there. Oh!
Hitbox, where is it? Does finally get it. Oh, I thought it was 2 hits.
3. Oh, no. Oh.
No, see,
No.
now if you have your sword, you can hold it out and hold inwards, and you're not going to get knocked off the platform like he just did there, but they're still swordless.
Yeah.
So he's kind of at Moldorm's mercy here.
It's that last hit, though. At least he's not in the biggest rage mode when you hammer him 3 times, because it doesn't get into that mode. See this second attempt here by SaltyPhry.
Playing it really safe now, waiting it out. I think Moldorm's AI will kind of do whatever it wants for a little bit, and then eventually it'll turn and kind of charge at you. And SaltyPhry was baiting that charge out, waiting for his chance to strike.
Hoping for the item here. And he does get it!
He gets a sword. Now this is can actually be required in some cases if you need to like cut a curtain or get to a tablet, but definitely one of the a sanity reducing, there's a sanity saving item is finally having a sword with which to fight.
Oh yeah, he must be happy now. He's like, he tried to whack that squirrel out of the way immediately.
Yep.
Half magic, ooh. Alright, Space Cowboy has to do this the traditional way with the statue, because normally you'd like to have Canis and Mario by this point. But so early. I think that's it for Skull Woods. Can't really progress any further.
Yep, I think you're right. Early Skullwoods play not paying off. But there's still one item left lurking in there somewhere. Down to 2 hearts, trying to fight his way out. His Space Cowboy.
And now SaltyPhry is heading towards the Paradox Cave. Many chests here. There's 7. And he now has a sword, so those mini Moldorms shouldn't give him that much trouble.
Yeah, one of the best parts about having a sword is it just augments your dash with the boots to have that sword out.
Moldorm had the sword. Oh! What is this cave?
I wanted all 5 items to be amazing, and you would have to go higher and higher with each one. But unfortunately, it stopped there with only 2 very good items: sword power up and a fire rod for Salty. So if Salty were to head to Skullwoods now, that'd be a pretty big advantage.
Salty definitely can finish Skullwoods now. He has all the tools to do so.
Yep, got that fire rod to light the torches, and to open the... most importantly, to open the... whatever that weird bone structure is. And also the sword to cut the curtain, because you actually need a sword to cut away the vines that block the way in the back half.
Well, based on what they have now, we can basically say Aghanim wasn't required in this seed. Depends if Fat Fairy is something needed. But they still can get around there. Just a hammer of the way, right?
I think so. Space Cowboy's making a play for Thieves Town. This is also a pendant, but there's lots of items easily accessible.
Yeah, he could complete it pretty much. Hammer is something he can use also against blind if he wanted to, but... Oh, wow, look at that! He finds his sword too.
So we've all of a sudden found the locations of 3 of the 4 swords. 22 minutes in.
And I think he's happy with that.
Yep. Down to 3.5 hearts, so wherever Space Cowboy goes. Hoping some hearts are going to drop out of some bushes or something along the way.
Just a rupee up there. Gonna go to the cave above the graveyard. Seems like so. He has that mirror equipped.
Can easily mirror and do bonk rocks as well. Yeah.
That's right.
I think it was Salty who walked right past these rocks. We'll see if this was a potentially horrible decision. Not yet. Just 50 rupees here in this set of bonk rocks.
I think Salty came there first when he got the boots. He went straight from Sanctuary to this place.
I thought he walked past it, though, and went straight up Death Mountain.
Nope. He actually checked it first. I remember him getting 50 rupees the same time Space Cowboy did in the dam.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The 50... Okay. I'm glad you're here. Keeping me honest.
They can also check the... I don't know. Did Salty actually check the team's tomb there, though? I'm not sure he did. Maybe he did, because... but I don't see Bombo, so most likely I don't think he did.
Would they have had the mirror, Moon Pearl, and all that at the time?
Wow. Bombos has been discovered.
Yeah, we have no idea whether or not Bombos is required for Turtle Rock. Misery Mire as well, but Misery Mire, Pendant Dungeon.
That's true. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so now we're sure Salty didn't check King's Tomb. No King of
Absolutely
Samaria.
not.
It's
Well,
a
that's
nice
nice.
thing to have.
Absolutely. Candace Mario is definitely required in this team. And
Space
Chet
Cowboy.
definitely remember, by God, that's got to be Kane.
Yeah, I can't do a very good impression. That's the only thing that stops me from doing it every time I'm on commentary.
Yeah, not everybody sounds like Jim Ross or Phantom Ryu.
Space Cowboy is heading into some of the other parts of Escape yet unchecked.
Ooh, it's good.
Salty.
Good to have that much magic for Mothula, though, because sometimes he just gets caught up in those spikes, and the bounce back of the fire rod sometimes helps you out.
Yep, the trick to Mothula is Mothula does not take damage if whatever you use to hit her knocks her into spikes. The spike damage overwrites whatever you were about to do, and spike damage is set to 0, so this boss doesn't kill itself. Down to half a heart there. Pretty sure... No,
oh my God, and look at that. What did we say about Skullwoods?
Oh man, chat, you guys called it. Skullwoods always has something, and in this case, it's got the D. Space Cowboy could smell it. That's probably the dirtiest thing I've ever said on stream. He wanted it, and he headed to Skullwoods, but he didn't have the fire rod to get there and get to Mothula and get it.
I think he was thinking, like, I'm going to check what's in the pedestal, but nope, I don't got my book, so I'm going to peace out here and go down to Dark World.
So things looking really good for Salty. He's got the fire rod and no King of Samaria though, and a different, more upgraded sword, better tunic, and now a bow. Would definitely take the left side of the screen if I was a betting man.
I'm wondering if he's now going to check these down. Just those 4 chests, then he'll get tampered then if he does so.
Would be pretty nice to have.
Yep.
So with the mirror, but no flute, so they can't get into desert just yet. But with the bow, you could head over to Eastern Palace at this point. It is a crystal.
And looks like he's going to open the doorway. He's going to go straight in. Yes.
Palace of Darkness, also a fairly good play at this point. Lots of items waiting there. They've got themselves the lamp, the hammer.
Yeah, no one got to Catfish or Zora quite yet, so...
They were up close that way, checking Waterfall Cave and things, but
yeah,
didn't have the money at the time.
Yeah, actually, SaltyPhry can definitely finish Pod, so he might do a Pod Eastern combo.
Yeah, I think that's the play I like the most in this situation. Not so much for Space Cowboy, though. Space Cowboy does not have that bow and not going to be able to complete either dungeon. But nonetheless, that's where they have found themselves.
Having that tempered probably makes him feel really happy right now.
Gonna go ahead and mirror out. So Salty also not interested in finishing this dungeon. Something about finding something in those first 4 items makes players want to... They're like, all right, that's good enough. But if it's just rupees and stuff in there, you think you're more likely to see him dive a little deeper, looking for something.
Yep. And we're going to have a pyramid check here, I think. Yep, looks like it.
Yeah, this is probably the better play than heading into Eastern or Pod without the bow.
And it's just a piece of heart, vanilla.
SaltyPhry is into some of these other Village of Outcast locations.
Yep.
Could be heading over to Hammer Pegs, but it looks like they're going north.
Yeah, that's probably the right play because he doesn't have mitts yet, so he can't really do too much down south. If he falls down there and takes that route, he can't really come back up here anymore.
Space Cowboy's comboing the pyramid check with catfish, pretty popular thing to do, and with the mirror can also combo that into Zora as well.
Yeah, I think that's the right play for him at this moment, trying to cover more ground without revisiting, so that's good.
Salty heading to the graveyard, gonna be pretty happy with some of the stuff that they're about to find here.
Alright. We finally see what's going to happen here with Zora. It's going to be a life lesson.
But before that, we get a little peek at this ledge. No flippers yet to grab it, but it doesn't matter. Just 20 rupees. Salty's got that Bombos.
Yep.
Could maybe help a little bit in Ice Palace. Could maybe open up Mire or Turtle Rock. We haven't seen either yet. But we are going to see what King Zora has for sale.
Here we go. Oh, it's the other sword!
Well, all 4 swords have been found now.
Oh, yeah. All swords have been seen in the sea. And we know where silvers are, so as soon as they get flippers, they can get the silver arrows if they wanted.
Hopefully our players have remembered that. I certainly forgot about it. Players usually a little more diligent than I am at remembering these things, but it could certainly happen.
Alright, Space Cowboy is now finally making the climb up here. He's at least going to get tempered if he doesn't beat Moldor. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Oh yeah, Salty hasn't been to Eastern or Pod yet, like we were talking about. That means they haven't been to Sahasrara. He's got the green pendant from Tower of Hera, so an extra item waiting for them.
The
Question
silver
from
arrows
chat.
was
Yeah.
on Lake Hilly Island.
Is there a fake flipper location in Dark World that can get there? Get to the Lake Hylia item?
You technically can fake flipper from the Pod. If you go south of it, there's like a ramp that you can jump from there. You can technically get into the water that way, but that's something that I don't commonly see people do when they play this randomizer. And, you'll see it way more in glitch mode, but not in standard mode here.
So that is an option if you really wanted those silver arrows, but
oh yeah,
both players armed with a decent sword. They've got the red mail, so they're not really hurting for something to put the hurt on other things.
Yeah, highly unlikely they're going to try to do that though.
So I saw Salty mirror to the light world in front of Sahasrara's hut, but I didn't see what the green pendant item was, or if they even went inside. Like, I assume if you're going to mirror there, you're going to go in and check. A pair of light world dungeons entered by both players. Space Cowboy going to be heading to Tower of Hera, and going to be able to finish this dungeon if they so wish. Same with Salty, who's headed to Eastern. Able to clear it. Is a crystal. Is one of the crystals 5 or 6? Pendant was just bombs. That's right, I remember seeing that now. Thank you very much, chat. Green pendant turning into only bombs.
However, getting that sword was still pretty nice.
It certainly was. Both players were, well, I guess it's mostly Space Cowboy was having a couple scary moments. No, Salty got down to half heart on Mothula. So both players have had a couple scares health-wise. Space Cowboy actually had a death. But now that they're into this light world dungeon, they've got 10 hearts, red mail, they've got swords now. So they're definitely much better off in terms of just surviving.
Yep. Oh wow. Salty could have just used sword beams to kill the Stalfos there.
I think maybe they realized partway through, like picked up the pot and they was like, oh wait, and then that threw them off. Didn't quite get the double despawn.
It's all good. Let's do a quick dungeon here. Oh, we got the 100 roops.
Space Cowboy heading into the Moldorm fight. We saw Salty have a couple falls here. It wasn't so good. Gonna be opting to use that hammer, even though they have the Master Sword. Wow, great fight.
Well, yeah. Definitely a nice fight. He's going to be happy to see this weapon right here.
Yep, Master Sword just got really hot and does twice as much damage. Tempered Sword, green pendant in hand.
Yeah, it was definitely the Flaming Hot Cheeto Sword.
It smells great. Just don't, stick it into any monsters or anything. That will kind of ruin it a little bit. And now with Tower of Hera done, Space Cowboy going to be checking out some of these Death Mountain locations. Spiral Cave going to go a little... No, wait, Salty had the boots as well for this, but has the sword, I think, is the difference. Salty can go forward when they did this.
That's true. I'd say if Space Cowboy does pick up Fire Rod, he's probably going to make the plane to Skullwoods next, because it should be a quick dungeon for him.
Yeah, it's clearly high on their list of priorities going as early as they did, so would fully expect to see that Skullwoods play. One Red Eye Gore down for Salty, going for the double.
There you go.
And now an Armmost fight. Fired one arrow too many, so probably not going to be... Well, maybe kind of set it up there. See if they can pick up the quick kill.
Oh, almost. I went off a little. Oh, wow! Quick medallion.
That's something. Quack, quack. Salty gets a crystal. Space Cowboy gets the fire rod and the butter sword. I guess melted butter is the nice combination there. Tried to set up a bomb jump, but it didn't go so well. And like we figured, Salty heading into Palace of Darkness as the follow-up to Eastern.
Oh, falls again.
Oh boy. Could just go the long way around. It looks like finally is.
Oh, I love it when you got the mirror for Pod, though. It's just... Death warping is... I know it's a thing, but... It's just nice to just mirror it out.
Yeah. Not to mention, in this situation, 11 hearts, red mail.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be pretty hard to set up those death warps.
He's just gonna go straight across here, but no key. You gotta remember that.
Trying to figure out the best way. Is knowledgeable about being able to bonk back across.
Yep. Gonna drop this way. I think he's hoping to get a key this way. And then go down right, I think, if he goes in. Yep. This is a good, better, efficient way. And Space Cowboy is going to Agimus Cave, I guess? Looks like it.
Yeah, with no flute and no book. Not going to be able to get into Mire or the either entrance of Desert Palace.
Just getting information here.
Yep, the ledge check revealing a whole lot of rupees, which are not a whole lot of good.
Alright, it's the key over here. Alright, 2 keys. Oh no, you don't have to do that. Okay, he remembers. Okay, good. Gonna hammer and go down much faster this way. There you go.
Yep, Salty making a mistake or two, but able to play heads up and course correct. Good to see you.
He's gonna go to the left here and bomb jump over, or he's gonna go down the way? Okay, he's gonna bomb.
Oh, I was excited to see that bomb jump. It blew my mind when I saw, I think it was Christos do that, because it's not really a part of the NMG route anymore, and I had no idea that it was even a thing, but back in the day it was actually part of the route, I think.
Yep. Not anymore. Ooh, 50 rupees. Alright. It's gonna go straight back up now.
And like we predicted, Space Cowboy knows something in Skullwoods every time. So that's where they're going.
Definitely going that direction. Goes north, and yes. Yep, here's the play. Now bear in mind, the most trickiest of items for this seed can still be Ice Rod, because it has pretty much no limitations until you have to face Phrynex.
That's right. And no limitations includes places like in Turtle Rock itself. So usually you'll avoid going there. Check as many places as you can that aren't Turtle Rock. But then eventually those places suck too, and the scales kind of tip, and heading to Turtle Rock and hoping for the Ice Rod to be inside becomes the play.
And looks like we are mittless no more.
Salty picking it up in the basement area of Palace of Darkness. Still more items to find, I think. I hadn't been keeping track, but had found a lot of keys, so I feel like there's definitely some more items left.
Alright, there's that big key.
Space Cowboy pretty low on magic. Salty checks a couple more locations here in Pod. Space Cowboy's going to be falling down to Mothula.
He was making sure that Wallmaster doesn't grab him.
Yep, that thing will nab you on your way down the hole. You still kind of have a hitbox in the Japanese version of the game that is the Randomizer is based off of. You can get hit by fireballs and all kinds of things, and also get grabbed by those Wallmasters.
Oh wow, Mothula giving Space Cowboy a hard time being all the way in that corner.
Yeah, red mail doesn't help so much against some of the hazards in this fight, but does get it done, and I think probably a better fight overall than Salty had. And of course, the glorious reward that is the bow.
It looks like heart count. They have the same heart count now.
Yet another element of parity between these two players. No matter what route they take, they seem to end up even in some capacity.
Should be the Pod and Eastern combo here coming up for Space Cowboy.
Yep, taking off towards that eastern area, which gives the palace its name, I guess.
Oh, he's gonna go to Sahasrara first, maybe? No, good. No, don't go north. Do the smart thing. Go down.
Get that portal.
Yes. I'd like to see people do that. This is good routing here.
So Salty has finished Eastern and is now about to finish Pod. And it doesn't really look like Space Cowboy has any other advantage, so they're just literally almost 2 dungeons back here. There's a pretty big gap between these players. For as much as I was talking about the players staying even, Salty's definitely pulled ahead with some better routing.
Yeah, The only difference is Salty doesn't have Butter Sword. That's pretty much it, besides being a couple of crystals ahead at the moment.
Spacecowboy doing their best not to lose Kiki. Does get to the door okay. Salty with the tempered sword, red mail, not going to have any problems with Helma's sword.
Yeah. No issues with Helma.
So just a compass, not what Salty wanted to see, but perhaps was fully expecting if they were keeping track of the items. But the crystal. Crystal is definitely worth fighting a boss for. Generally required to beat the game. The 7 crystals to open up the final dungeon.
Yeah, currently you can definitely say Salty's ahead.
So what are some things that could maybe shake up this race? We've got Swamp Palace is a crystal, but they haven't found the flippers or the hookshot.
Yep, and of course Ice. Everyone knows that one's needed for Trinex.
Desert Palace, they're still lacking a book or a flute to get in there.
Yep. The book or the flute. Gotta have a method to get into Desert Palace. And let's see where Salty's heading. He's gonna do the southern side of Dark World? No, he's... Yeah, I think so. Just like he's getting his mirror out.
Yep, thanks to the Titan's Mitts find in Palace of Darkness. Opens up a couple things to do here near Kakariko and Village of Outcasts.
Yes, Salty did finish Eastern Palace. He did Eastern Palace first before he did finish up Pot. That's the decision he decided to do.
Sick Kid only has his 5 rupee allowance to give to Link.
Now it's going to be surprising of where are these other items. I'm curious if Swamp Palace is going to have a bunch of stuff, because actually there's a bunch of things you can get in Swamp Palace still with just a hammer. But people generally don't like going in if they don't have the hook shots. And they hope to have a quick Swamp Palace, usually in Go mode style. Makes it so much faster. But at this point in time, it seems like it wouldn't be that bad of a choice because we've seen so many things already.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the play is. Salty's opting for some of these overworld locations. They could fake Flipper into Ice Palace, but that's probably not the greatest play with it being a pendant. Wait, it's not a pendant. It is a crystal.
Yeah. Once they get the flippers, it'll be a big deal. I think it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go. Let's see. Is this going to be the flippers? Nope. Just a heart.
There's still a couple other places to check, like the Dwarven Breadsmiths, Purple Chest as well.
Magic Bat they can technically do if they know the glitch with the Samaria Cane.
I have never heard of this glitch. Enlighten me.
If you run out of the magic meter and you then sprinkle the the Magic Bat with the Samaria Cane, you can actually access it.
Huh. That is cool. And that's a minor glitch, I suppose.
Yes, and we've seen it in the tourney match race. Oh hey, it's David actually pulled it off.
Well, we're not going to be seeing any such shenanigans from Salty. Sticking with good old glitchless.
It would definitely be a sequence break, but it saves you time from going back.
Yep. But you'd lose time trying to, empty out your magic meter. I guess with Fire Rod you can do that pretty quick.
Yeah, I think he might be right. Triple Z's onto something. I think you do need the mushroom. If I remember correctly. Yeah, it might be required. Yeah. It somehow thinks it's a spice. It's a spicy mushroom after all.
That's weird. What is? I mean, the mushroom turns into the powder. Oh, I guess it occupies the same slot, so I could see that causing the game to make a mistake about what you're using there.
It's an interesting situation. I was still hilarious when I heard Jet and Ninny's like, "What did he just do?"
Well, if Jet and Ninny's both have never heard of this, I feel a lot better for not knowing myself.
Yeah. It was just funny when they found out about it. They were like, "Is this hacks?"
One of those moments where you question your sanity as a commentator.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. If you've never seen it before and you see someone do it, you're like, "What?"
Yeah, I would have been like, "Oh, I guess he does have the powder. I don't remember when he picked that up. Did you see when he got the magic powder?"
Yeah.
No, wait, he doesn't have the magic powder. It would be a whole thing for like 5 minutes. I wouldn't be able to let it go.
I'm pretty sure SaltyPhry did the Smith. Yeah, because he picked him up when he went up. Yes, absolutely. But no
Smiths into purple chest.
Yeah.
Purple chest into desert. Still not able to get into Desert Palace, but you can do the old ledge check for information followed by Agnes Cave. We saw Spacecowboy do this earlier, and we know it's not really going to lead to too much. So back to the drawing board with Salty.
I can only think of an overworld place now is, yeah, I think he's going to go there. The Dark World side. Because they definitely can do Spy Cave if they wanted to. They can also do the Super Money Cave area too now. And Hookshot Cave, they can use the bonk strats to get more chests.
Yeah, I think just based off of the amount of places left to check, I think we're actually looking at surprisingly decent odds for a hookshot to be in the bonk chest. The odds have gone from astronomical to just very, very small.
I'm thinking they're gonna find flippers somewhere here. I just have this feeling because they need flippers by logic to progress into Swamp Palace, and they're supposed to have flippers to go into Ice too.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm thinking. They're gonna probably find flippers very soon.
But something's got to give, that's for sure.
Yep. Oh.
No.
Blocked. There you go.
Squirrel's playing nice second time around as Spacecowboy is done with Palace of Darkness, heading into Eastern, a much faster dungeon, but still a lot of time to spend here doing things that Salty has already done.
He's probably going to take a quick check of what's the medallion required for Turtle Rock. He might open it if he has it. He does have it. It's traditional vanilla.
Gonna go ahead and open it up while he's here. Could go inside, really.
Yep. But I think he might opt not to. He might go into Hookshot Cave and all that first.
Yeah,
there's the Ice Rod.
4 items in Hookshot. We actually saw this earlier, a match where Hookshot Cave had not been checked, and Ice Rod was the thing that was needed, and someone went straight into Turtle Rock, and I called them out on it at that point, and now here I am, and going and making the same mistake one match later. Bonking over. Oh, just a red rupee.
And we're not all Andy, so we're not going to see Hover Cave here today. He's gonna get that half magic though. That's the only reason why I would see he would go this way, because half is quite nice. Definitely helps out Silverless Ganon, so you can do more torch glitch management and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They've got to do Cold Stare, and if you're not comfortable with using the sword to corral them into the corner, it's nice to pull out the Fire Rod and just go nuts.
Yep. And without the flippers, they can't get the silver arrows, technically. So, probably thinking that in the back of their mind.
Just a couple more Dark World Death Mountain places to check for Salty. More red rupees.
Salty absolutely did Eastern Palace.
Mm-hmm. Had the almost double or almost quick kill on the Armos. Ended up putting 2 arrows into a totally different one and almost managed to get the quick kill at the end, but not quite. I remember it distinctly.
Going to escape. I guess he hasn't gotten it yet, so yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, of all the places left to check, this one isn't too bad.
Yeah. It's either escape or Spike Cave. I don't think he did go in there after all.
Oh, you're right. Was up there, was in the neighborhood and didn't stop by.
Yeah, I have a feeling this has to be a progression item or it was Spike Cave, because there's really not much overworld accessibility left now.
Yeah, I'm racking my brain trying to think of something.
Yeah, it's got to be a progression item of some sort. Well, nope. Might be Spike Cave after all.
Oh no.
I'm thinking it has to be one of a few things. It's either the book or the flippers or something like that, because it's got to let you go somewhere.
Yep. Whatever the logic chain is trying to direct them towards, it can't send them into Ice Palace or Swamp Palace. Could be in some of Turtle Rock though. You can get to a couple of chests in Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah, they can get into Turtle Rock. They can pretty much do everything in there. They just can't beat it without the Ice Red.
Got an Armos fight from Space Cowboy. Also not going to be getting the quick kill, but a very, very quick regular kill for the Quack Medallion.
They got plenty of hearts to take the damage all the way through Spike Cave. And then they got the potions as well, so it's not something they can't do.
Yeah, I think Salty may have used their potion. Someone used a potion. So might actually have to go buy one, depending on the situation.
He just picked up a red potion, though, so I think he's good.
Oh, yep. For some reason I thought that was Space Cowboy. He was in the middle of a boss fight. It couldn't have been him. Alright, Salty. Finishing off some of the chests here in Escape, mirroring out, and not finding whatever progression item it is that the game is holding out on them.
I still find it pretty trolly when they don't give you the cape or Mirna to choose Spike Cave. It's just one of those things where you just got to tank it.
Yep. Just get something, put your wallet in your mouth and bite down on it or something.
Yep, Catfish was done, and they didn't finish Thieves Town. That's correct. It could also be something in Thieves Town's possible. They just did the first 4 chests, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Saw Space Cowboy doing the same thing Salty did. Came out of that Eastern Pod combination, still missing a lot of items, and said, you know what? Dark World Death Mountain. Seems like a pretty good bet. And we know that the majority of it doesn't have what they're looking for, but we didn't check that Spike Cave and also Turtle Rock is up here. So if Space Cowboy decides to go to either of those places and finds something, that could have closed this really big gap that we've had between Salty and Space Cowboy ever since around the 20-minute mark.
I think this is good play. This might be a good play if he goes in. He does have the medallion.
This is one of those situations where if you knew what was going on between you and your opponent, you would be like, this gamble is really in my favor. Odds are pretty good it's in there, and if it is in there, it's a big win for me. So he would probably go inside if he knew how far behind he was, but he doesn't. You don't know that information in these randomizers, and that means you sometimes miss out on being able to make favorable gambles like that. So Space Cowboy not going into Turtle Rock, but maybe they'll turn around and go back in after checking some of these other locations.
I think Salty's gonna go for the mirror to Catfish to Zora combo, like vanilla.
Yeah, we were saying, Salty's ahead. 2 dungeons ahead. No items that Space Cowboy has that Salty hadn't. But Space Cowboy had gone and checked some places that just didn't have items. So Salty's now falling into the trap of checking those same places. And this is all just buying time for Space Cowboy to catch up. And it seems maybe these players were a little bit closer than we thought.
Yep. I think they're just about to even up here once Space Cowboy checks the spot.
And thinking about hovering? Oh my god, he's revving up the engines. Oh man. All right, does he leave now? Does he leave? All right, just one and done. Went for it. Clearly not a practiced maneuver that Space
And he's going to Turtle Rock.
He's going in. Oh, this could be huge. This could be massive. Or maybe it's in Spike Cave. But Triple Z reporting in chat, Logic will require one of those 2 items. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's probably right. It's just the thinking of it is, but you can definitely sequence break it when you have this much stuff.
Yeah, also skipping the half magic is pointed out. V600E.
Oh yeah, half magic would be actually pretty nice right now because Turtle Rock used quite a bit of magic.
So Salty, getting desperate, setting up for fake flippers in Ice Cave that we forgot either player checked, maybe? No, for sure Space Cowboy's been, so I guess Salty didn't go.
Nope, Salty opted not to do so until he had faster feet.
So yet another location Space Cowboy had under their belt that Salty didn't. No hook shot, so the players are unable to pull themselves off of this platform to sort of get back to the entrance of the room early, so having to do it the intended way, I would wager.
Is Salty also going into Turtle Rock?
Could be. Could also be Spike Cave.
If he goes up north, then yes. If he goes... Wow, yeah.
It's going north.
It's going north, but I think this is the only way he can go, so...
I mean, he's right here. You're right here. Check it, right? You check it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if indeed it is, the logic does check, we know it's not going to be...
Oh, there's the book. Book is in Turtle Rock.
So there it is. It's been cracked open. A way to go has been laid bare for these players. Space Cowboy's the one to find it in Turtle Rock. And Salty looks like they're heading that way, so we're going to have ourselves a race.
Yep. Now I'm just curious where they're going to find flippers. Flippers might be in Turtle Rock. Could be in the tablets now.
Desert Palace?
Could be in Desert Palace.
Ooh. The Chink Chomps giving Space Cowboy what for? Down to 4.5 hearts. Dancing around a little bit, making sure to play it safe. Gets out of there.
Now, let's see what can still be trolley. Pedestal can still be a trolley item. If it's Ice Rod.
Yep. Ice Rod. Turtle Rock being a crystal means the Ice Rod has the potential to be damn near anywhere and in that way be a thorn in your side.
Oh yeah. It would be painful.
Getting turned into a bunny here for a little bit. Space Cowboy takes the opportunity to collect a heart and has to chase down the Pokey. Here comes the anti-fairies running interference. Nice blocking play. Earned that Pokey a solid 5-10 rushing yards. That's great. First down, Pokies. Moving on. Space Cowboy is down to 3.5 hearts. Hopefully going to be able to finish Turtle Rock without any incidents. The last thing you want to do is die on the laser bridge with a couple unchecked items.
Looks like Cat is really unforgiving. They want them to double dip T-Rock.
Of course they do. It's always fun to construct the biggest obstacle course possible for the players. Salty's got that book as well. Gonna try to switch to it and read their way across this gap. It's a useful item you just found, but not that useful.
If they can ever figure out how to do item dashing with a book. That would be hilarious. You can then do a hover dashing while you're reading.
Sounds like one of those anime characters that always has their nose in a book. You just dashing around with the book out.
He's being careful here. Don't like those chomps, even though you're in red mail.
Yeah, they still hurt. We saw Space Cowboy get chomped just a little bit. Mimic Cave also has the potential for something, just a red rupee.
One of my favorite things to do out of Mimic Cave is exactly what he's about to do right there. Right there. Just hammer dash your way right back into your portal.
Nice. Something very dramatic about emerging from another world, hammer hoisted overhead, legs splayed out.
Yeah, so far there's nothing good except literacy, but literacy lets you get into Desert Palace, which is required, which leads you to Double Chested Fairy.
Yeah, then we could see that being the next required item for these players. You're usually not super psyched to see the book, but in this case, absolutely.
And I wonder if Space Cowboy is going to mirror from T-Rock and check, go over to the west side, then check Ether Tablet moment, because he could do that too.
Space Cowboy getting hit by the fire bar there, down to 2.5. Pretty sure they've still got a potion in their back pocket. I see a B. They may have already drank that potion, so Laser Bridge could be a scary moment here.
I'd say this is not much of a gamble, though, because what the seeds kind of there's hook shot. The seed kind of forced them to here because they kind of checked everywhere else they kind of can do. The only thing they kind of missed was Thieves Town. The rest of that was it.
Yeah, I think at this point the odds actually heavily favor Turtle Rock having the next item. I think anything but coming here is a gamble at that point.
Wow, Space Cowboy is thinking, I don't need to go back in here. Not sure.
No Ice Rod yet. Wanted to...
I think he didn't go all the way out to the, what's he doing?
Did he leave chests on the laser bridge, went out to get the waypoint in case he died, and then, jumped off?
He didn't go out, he didn't bomb the caves to mirror out that way, so I don't know what he's doing now. That's interesting where he's going back this direction. I'm not sure.
No powder for that fairy. 2.5 hearts. It's got to be at least a little nervous heading back into Turtle Rock like this. Chain Chomps here could really be bad news. Oof.
Oh, he's going this way for some reason. He's going out the entrance? I think he went... Yeah, he's gonna go back to the entrance way. Well... Yeah, he still wanted to stay in Dark World, I guess, but... It's not too bad to just mirror and drop out and then go out the dangerous way. Okay. He just wanted to get out the main entrance, I guess. There you go.
Yep. There's, with the hookshot now, hookshot cave, got 3 more items.
Yeah.
But chat's already kind of theorized that, oh, no, already checked that one. Whoops. And, yeah, there's a couple different possibilities that would kind of lead him to do what he did, but I think it was definitely not the best option, all things considered. We're seeing a look at that. Oh my god, it was the flippers!
Oh my god, he left the flippers behind.
He missed the flippers! When is he gonna go back?
No.
Oh, but he's got the hook shot now. No. He's got the book. He's not gonna go back there.
Oh shoot.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's why I was thinking he would at least go down south in case he dies, and just kind of like what Salty's doing here. And then he had fairy. Good.
Well, that is good. Man, someone in chat was pushing their glasses up on their nose and being like, actually, he did the math and realized that it was just a map inside that chest. Very clever play.
It could have been many chests still, because Trinex could have had an item too. I was like, no. Okay, he's gonna. Okay, Salty's now like, oh.
Yeah.
I can do swamp completely.
Yeah, Turtle Rock had both items required to get into Swamp. Space Cowboy's still kind of in the neighborhood of Turtle Rock. Is going to Spike Cave, but
Ice Rod is your only pedestal hope item now for your entire seed. That's it.
Even then, the advantage goes to Salty, because I don't think Space Cowboy did Molder definitely did do Molder.
Yeah.
Tracker for that Tower of Heraclear. But other pendants, Thieves Town, neither player cleared it out, and neither player's even been to Mire.
Ooh, look at what was in Spike Cave.
We got Powder. Powder could lead to something, and so Salty, odds of Salty going to Spike Cave at this point, pretty low. So we could have, if this Powder leads to something like the Ice Rod, we could have one player missing an item in Spike Cave that they'll probably check very, very late, and one player missing one item in the mostly cleared Turtle Rock that they're probably not going to check until very, very late, and we could have this weird sort of standoff.
Yep.
And honestly, that's kind of Space Cowboy's only chance to really get back in this. He needs something dramatic.
Yeah, I can't believe he skipped that chest.
I mean, skipping it is one thing. It having the flippers after already finding both the hookshot and the book, right? Like, there was lots of other places to find those flippers. Not necessarily a good chance it would be in that one chest, but it was.
He can do it still, somehow. As long as this Ice Rod's still trolling both players, he still has a chance.
Chad also pointing out it's possible that Space Cowboy is that person pushing the glasses up on the bridge of their nose, thinking that that one chest they left actually is a map.
Oh, that was the Ice Rod. Their case closed.
Yeah, this is really bad. We were going to be like, man, Salty's got it. Salty's 2 dungeons ahead. They got it. And then they checked a ton of places that Space Cowboy had already checked and had nothing. And they ended up pretty much equal up on Death Mountain, looking for the item they needed. Yeah. And we had a race. For a glorious couple of minutes, we had a race.
Now it's go mode for Salty.
I think Space Cowboy is going to be inheriting the title of Salty after this one. He needs the opposite of faith. He needs pure doubt. He needs to double check the place he just checked.
He has to go there. But I think it might be like the last thing he does, because oh man, I don't know. He's definitely going to be able to finish. I think he might. You know what I'm thinking? This is what I'm thinking. He got the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to finish Desert. He's going to get the Ice Rod. He's going to go back to Turtle Rock. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you're right. But will he go down to the laser bridge?
He probably will, because he's probably thinking, damn, I better do this. That's what I'm thinking.
There's a chance.
Yes, because he's going to get the Ice Rod in Desert, so there's absolutely, that's another dungeon he can complete. He might be thinking, Trinex might have the flippers.
Yeah, it's possible. You're right. It's not so grim because of that Ice Rod location being in a place that he was likely to check, and the Ice Rod also being a reason to go back to Turtle Rock. This is a very good observation. It is our hope for something, though. We got to say, Space Cowboy not heading to Desert just yet. He's checking some of these overworld locations that Salty was ticking off, going all the way down the list. Here, no, here, no, here, no. And now it's Space Cowboy's turn to lug this purple chest all the way over to Gary. And
I thought he was going to go swimming with it, because you can't swim with purple chest.
Even if it's only got like a single arrow in there, and it should actually float, if anything.
Yeah.
Just grab onto it and use it like a flutterboard.
I like this routing though. This is ways that he can take that chest. He can still check Bombo's tablet, and then he can head his way into desert this way.
Mm-hmm. Some pretty good routing, actually. In the face of a bad situation. Not that he really knows it's a bad situation. Not yet.
Now here's the question. Will Salty pick up those silvers? Because his go mode dungeon's pretty much going to be Ice Palace on his way to Turtle Rock. Because he already knows he's in go.
Where you going, Space Cat? Oh man, I thought he was going to go dash away from Desert Palace. I was like, no!
No, he's definitely going to finish this palace.
Phew. All right, so he's going to get that ice rod. For sure.
Oh yeah. It's actually in a very good spot for him to finish the dungeon off. I'm pretty sure he's going to think in the back of mind, now that he can finish Turtle Rock, he can go back up. And he knows it's potentially there's items still left over there with Trinex and everything.
Yeah, and even if he thinks that it's the map in that chest or like the compass or something,
yeah.
When he beats Trinex and Trinex doesn't have an item, he'll be like, oh, wait, that chest. So even if he skips the laser bridge the first time after defeating Trinex, there's a chance that will cause him to go back.
Yeah, he's going to definitely think about it.
Still, though, mostly a dungeon behind Salty at this point. Even if he doesn't fall trapped to this flipper conundrum,
there it is.
Still's got some making up to do.
Well, he knew he definitely had a double dip T-Rock now, seeing the ice right here.
Yep. Salty, since they have the flippers, no problem heading over to Swamp from Desert. Not going to be much of an option for Space Cowboy.
Alright.
So we're hoping and praying that Turtle Rock comes up next.
Yeah, technically he knows flippers can't be in Ice Palace because you're not supposed to fake flipper there.
Yep.
So
also
he knows.
Swamp, so yeah.
He's probably gonna have to turn back and go into Turtle Rock based by what he's thinking here. And he's pretty much checked everything he can do in Overworld now. So he has no other option but to go back, I would think.
He pulled the me and forgot which corner of these rooms in the tile rooms here in Desert was the one he needed.
The only other thing I can think of is Thieves Town for him. Besides that, I can't think of him going anywhere else.
Yeah, but Thieves Town is a pendant Turtle Rock crystal, so I think if you had to consider the two, you would head towards Turtle Rock.
Yep, because what's left is pretty much that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna probably... Let's see what he does. He goes up Death Mountain, you know he's gonna go back to Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Because that's the only thing he needs to do there.
We had a 1-cycle Argus fight from Salty and a 2-cycle Landmolus fight from Space Cowboy. Not the quickest of kills, but very solid on both sides.
There's one thing I think he's going to do first, though, because he just finished Desert Palace. He's probably going to do Double Chest Fairy.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Crystals 5 and 6 now in hand, and he's doing a save quit, so...
Yep.
Starting at the house.
And Salty is on his way to Ice Palace. He might pick up the Silver Arrows right now, because there's no other reason not to, if he wants them.
Heading up that way. I was wondering if these players might have forgotten. It was over an hour ago that they saw them sitting there, but Salty did not.
There they are. That is the right way of doing this, because then you just swim over here and dig out an Ice Palace. He's armed to the teeth. He has hat magic, silvers, butter, red mail.
Chat's calling the GG. I think it's maybe a little early. Certainly there have been races that have been far more decided than this one is. But Space Cowboy definitely needs Salty to make some big mistakes. We're talking, deaths laid in Ice Palace, falling
dying to
Ganon.
cold stare, something going back, something like that. It's got to be something big now. It's the gap is going to be pretty big because he's going to have to climb up Death Mountain like 2 more times at least. Yeah, this is it. This is the he has to go to Death Mountain. I know he has to go back and do Turtle Rock.
Mountain Cave. Oh,
where's he going? Where is he going? Oh, save and quit. Where are you going?
Maybe he doesn't know where he's going.
Death Mountain, please. Oh no, he's going back to his house. Is he gonna just fake flipper into ice? And beat
that
it?
would be very desperate.
He's probably gonna fake flipper into ice and just do it. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking he's gonna do. He's gonna fake flipper into ice and beat it because he knows flippers can't be there, so you can just go mode it, which makes sense.
Yep, and even if I'm not gonna find the progression item I need here.
Yeah. He knows this.
Yeah, but it buys himself time to think. Like if he's not sure, where could they be, right? Like I don't know. Let's just do Ice Palace, and use this time to try to think about what I'm gonna do after Ice Palace.
Yeah. He's definitely just gonna go mode this. I don't, unless he's thinking flute will lead him to flippers. That's the only thing I can think the drawback.
Oh. No, well, the flute wouldn't be in here then if it led into flippers, right?
No, he's thinking I don't think it would. It's impossible by the logic. It shouldn't make you have to find it that way.
Yeah, flippers is the only thing he needs
He's
for
just gonna go mode this. If he go modes this, then I'm thinking he knows that this is the right play for him right now. He shouldn't be looking for any more chests in here. You just go. Yep, he's go moding this. That's the right play. Good job.
The only downside is, like you said, 2 trips up Death Mountain now required. Yeah. Salty's going to be able to go up there and turn around, head straight to Ganon's tower.
Yeah, he has no choice but to head up the place twice because he has to make the climb eventually to Ganon's tower. Again.
There's that Fire Rod half magic being put to use on Cold Stare, earning a mushroom. Probably not going to be cashing that in. Though maybe potions are a bit of a concern. They got the red mail and the butter sword, but only 11 hearts. I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, just make this bomb jump and pretty easy from here. Oh.
Bit too low on that bomb jump. I was about to talk about, just how this bomb jump, it looks pretty intimidating if you're a newer player, but you just need, 1 or 2 visual cues.
There it is.
And that one looks good. Even I, as a novice, got this bomb jump with only a couple of tries, knowing what to look for. The important part is not to get on tilt if you miss the first couple of tries. Is the sort of thing that requires patience.
But the one thing I know for sure is I don't think Space Cowboy is going to pick up silvers. By him doing this, I don't think he's going to pick up silvers at all.
Oh, you're right.
It just doesn't seem like it's going to be worth for him to do anymore.
Well, he's going to be near Swamp Palace. That's pretty close.
True, but...
It's not the best route for sure.
But Swamp's gonna be his. It's probably gonna be his go mode dungeon. His last go dungeon because he's going to definitely finish Turtle Rock, and then he's gonna finish Swamp.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. Because yeah, There's no reason for him not to finish Turtle Rock when he's up there. Alright. And this should be a pretty quick Turtle Rock because they cleared pretty much everything. It's just, he's just going to go straight to the boss now.
Yeah, this is the second match I've commentated today where the players made a trip to Turtle Rock and, were not able to full clear it, had to come back. And both me and my co-commentator were a little caught off guard at just how much faster it is to do Turtle Rock once you've cleared it. It's fairly linear, you need to traverse a lot of the same rooms, but there's a lot to do in a lot of these rooms that you don't have to do anymore.
Did you see what Salty did there?
The hook shot straight across on the chest that's already there.
Yeah, he's like,
pretty good.
Peace out, chain chops.
That's just another advantage of the pre-cleared Turtle Rock and just how fast it can be. Space Cowboy done with Cold Stare, save and quit. They're going to Turtle Rock, right? Mountain cave, mountain cave, mountain cave.
It's gotta be. He's probably
it's gotta be.
He's like, no, I should have never left that chest behind.
Yeah, that sucks. That really just sucks. Ooh, we got a spin speed. I guess it was hook speed. Haven't seen too much of that this match.
You hook here and hook here, and boom. Actually, the route that he's going up this way is actually slower. You're just gonna go in. We'll see. Yeah. Because he still has to make a screen transition back into the Turtle Rock cave, so it's actually better just to go in the other way around if you're gonna do it.
Going for the hook shot glitch, gets it.
Oh, this is nice.
It's a little risky to do that. I mean, it's not like a big deal if you mess it up, but you do have to leave and reset the blocks.
This way going to Ganon's Tower is much quicker though, but going to Turtle Rock, it's probably still the traditional vanilla way would be faster. But this is good. He's gone in.
Going where they need to go, for sure.
No squirrels to block him. That's the only advantage of this round, I would say. I don't get squirrel blocked for sure.
I think maybe you're underestimating the value of the guaranteed no squirrels. 1, 2, 3 shots on each head. Are we gonna get the 0? Nope, not quite.
No, it's too hard to do from the front. It's probably not possible.
Going for the spin, not quite the double, but does manage to deliver all final hits to the head. So overall, a very solid fight from Salty. Solid is all they really need at this point. You don't need to be super good to close it out. From here on out, just play consistent, and this one's in the bag.
Yep. And I think chat knows what time it is when you got 7 crystals and you're on your way to Ganon's Tower. What do you need to find?
That's right. It's that time to play everyone's favorite guessing game where you win nothing. Nothing at all. But people love it. I don't know. I don't know why. But people love it. But where's the big key? We got 23 possible locations now, or is it? I think it was 22, but now it's. Help me out. What's the from 1 to what should people be guessing here?
I'd say 22 is it?
22. Okay. I thought they added they changed the definition of what's a the torch wasn't one and now it was one or something. I don't know. 22 then.
Still 22.
22. Don't say 23. You're probably not going to win if you say 23. I'm going to say 19, but you're guessing locations here of where this big key is going to be. We've already seen 1 there on the torch. So if you said 1, you've already lost. So you probably shouldn't say 1 anymore.
And the likelihood of right side still alive. So.
Oh, there is the chest. Space Cowboy is going for it.
Oh,
down to 4 hearts.
Oh, here it is. He's gonna be like, Drats.
Oh.
He knows. You know.
The no reaction. The no cell. So I totally missed it, but Salty's going up the middle, so I'm pretty sure they found that big key.
It was left side in the northern room.
There's a number of chests there. I'm not sure what order they were opened.
He got the key with 4. That was so fast.
That's really fast. We saw 1 earlier today. Doesn't get much faster than that, but 4 is pretty darn good. Salty will take it.
Yeah.
So who said 4? Let's go. We never actually assign a winner to these things, but it looks like Catastrophe did in fact call out 4 in chat. Got the arms up. Congratulations to Catastrophe.
Victorious.
I lied earlier, by the way. We do have a prize. It's a coupon, 50% off ramen from the ramen joint up at my street. So if you live in Toronto, gladly drop off the coupon in your mailbox.
Whew, that was a close fight. They were trying to...
You're down to 1 heart. I'm up here being silly about coupons while a pretty exciting fight is taking place. My apologies to Space Cowboy. Just because Salty's got a big lead doesn't mean I shouldn't be
commentating. It should be close. Yeah, I'd still say it's not going to be that bad because it's just climb and a quick swamp palace. Yeah, the only thing I can say that he's going to lose time is primarily the silver arrows on Ganon part. Going to be a little bit slower. Yeah, I would not route it into right now. When he finishes swamp, I highly doubt I'll see him go and pick that up. I don't know. Let's see.
Salty down to 3.5 hearts. Not going to stop to powder. Oh, doesn't have powder, so not an option to powder that Andy Fairy. Trying to snipe from
Spy Cave. Remember
the long distance with the silver arrows. Not going so well. Landmolas gets one of them. Does get the other. Oh, the spawn from underneath.
Oh.
Like Sasuke, or was someone I can't remember now. One of them transmutes himself into a shuriken and hides under the shadow of the other shuriken early on in Naruto. I was going for the reference that the kids are into. They would think I was cool, but I blew it. I couldn't remember which one was which. Either way, hiding in the shadow. Second lane Molas pops out and gets popped by Silver Arrow. Salty moving on out of the gauntlet as Space Cowboy heads into Swamp Palace here.
Looks like Sarah wants to know where your ramen shop is.
I'm not gonna lie. I may have made up the existence of that ramen shop for the sake of a joke. But I could probably Google one.
There's definitely more race tonight. There's actually one still ongoing right now.
People, I'm sorry about lying about the ramen shop. I didn't think people would take it so seriously. But you're right. Started 40 minutes ago, roughly on Speed Gaming. 1, that is, but don't type the 1. It's just twitch.tv/speedgaming. A race did start over there, and will be in progress when we're all wrapped up over here.
Yeah. Oh, missed that bomb. Here we go.
Even if Salty does get into a hairy situation with the Ganon fight, they've still got that red potion in the back pocket.
Yep. And Salty's the one with the half magic, so Salty's really well here. Opens the chest anyway.
Could have been that powder that they were looking for.
That's true.
I guess magic cape could kind of help in the Ganon fight.
Yeah. Doesn't have to use the lag king there. Alright, here's Ganon 2. We'll see the pattern that they're both gonna get.
Ooh, landing the triple. I think. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether or not two hit at the same time. After that great start to the fight, ends up only getting a couple of 1 rounds in.
I think this is the last hit. I counted right. Should be the last one.
Misses all 3.
Oh wow! Again.
This is adding up. Down to 4 hearts now.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Ooh. Able to clinch it. If that gets snowballed out of control a little bit, forced the red potion early, didn't have it for the Ganon fight. It starts possibilities start opening up, but able to get on top of things and get Aghanim 2 down.
Yes, this is a shieldless run by both runners.
Yeah, way back at the start of the race, the players headed over to race game, saw a shield sitting there, and both went, nah.
Yep, no need.
Space Cowboy getting the 7th crystal just as Salty drops into the Ganon fight. Red mail, butter sword, even though they're at 4 hearts. I mean, that's scary, but a lot of options. Red potion to refill. Hook shot well timed.
There you go.
Pretty sure that was enough to get out of this phase, and that's the scariest part. Not using the potion! Not using the potion! Oh my god, use it!
Oh my god, look at how close that was.
Oh, that bat was pixels away and immediately gets hit by the fire bat that spiraled outwards. Clutch potion. Kind of has the fight under control from here on out, especially with the half magic. I feel like it'd be really, really hard for something to go off the rails at this point.
Ooh, Space picks up those silvers though. He remembers.
He did.
This would have been really close if he got the flippers, without a doubt, because that was the go mode thing.
Yep.
Well, it would have been ice run then for him for go mode. Instead. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would have been heading towards desert anyway.
I absolutely think he would have been heading to desert.
It just greatly changed the routing, increased the legwork needed to get between the dungeons. Salty officially finishing, by the way, with a first place time of 1:37.34, and it was just checking that chest, getting those flippers, changed the decisions, the order, did the dungeons, and that ended up being the difference in this race.
Yeah, it was still an exciting race though. They both played the same way up till Turtle Rock, and then the divergence of missing that one chest.
A very, very exciting race. I was ready to write it off, 2 or 3 times, but then it kept coming back together. We just, saw just how close these players actually were. A lot of interesting moments, especially when the flippers were revealed from that chest. Oh man.
Oh my god, I knew. Oh no, what if it was the flippers? But these runners have given you quite the show, so make sure you follow them. They've still got plenty of tournament races for them in the future, so you'll be seeing them soon.
That's right. This is a Swiss tournament, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think this is their first match that they've had, because we talked about that earlier. But basically, Salty goes 1-0, and Space Cowboy goes 0-1. But neither of them out of the tournament. They are going to play other opponents for a couple more rounds who have similar win-loss records as them. And that means we're probably going to get some even more exciting matches coming up shortly.
Yeah.
It also means neither player goes home, so yay.
I think for our main tournament, no one's raced more than one race so far.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, probably true right there. But in our secondary tournament, I think people have raced more than a few races. I've noticed that, so the secondary tournament's also going live and fresh. Oh, you cannot say it is a shieldless run no more.
That's right. Space Cowboys elected to go right. I think it's the more popular option nowadays. But the right way has yielded the Magic Cape first shield of the race.
And you're right, he also picked up the Magic Cape.
I feel like you're not a real, side of justice hero video game protagonist if you don't have a sword, a shield, and a cape.
Yep. He's now fully equipped to the teeth. He's trying to bonk that woman. I knew that was what he was going for.
And accidentally fell down a hole. Not the heroic death.
He's gonna find the big key here, I'm pretty sure. It's probably this last chest. I would think. He's gonna open it, he's gonna find out it's the big key. Oh.
So I think that was 10. Oh man, if he didn't open that chest and then it turned out to be the big key. Oh, that would have been something.
He grabs the magic refills after. He's like, okay, I killed those guys. Didn't need to, but now I'm gonna take their magical souls.
Yeah, drink it up. Link has no problem consuming the souls of the living for a small advantage. Pedestal had only an arrow boost.
Ooh. Nope, not the shovel this time, apparently.
Your shovel's in another castle, another seed, waiting. Perhaps the seed taking place on speed gaming right now. If you're invested in this race, like I am, and you want to see Space Cowboy finish it out, you want to see what kind of final time they got, and you want to maybe theory craft what time he could have got if he had found those flippers first time through, then stick around and we'll hang out and keep you company. But if you're the kind of person who wants to see another competitive race in action, definitely head over to Speed Gaming and check in on the match that's been in progress for about 50 minutes now.
Mm-hmm. This seed's still pretty fast, though, considering what happened even for Space Cowboys. Should be very well in finishing with definitely within sub 2 easily.
Pulling out the B for the gauntlet. I like it. And I agree. These are some pretty good times. We saw a full pendant dungeon clear. And dipped into Thieves Town Pendant as well, and checked damn near all of the overworld in their quest to find the book and the flippers and all that. So a large number of locations checked means a 137 and a 140 whatever Cowboy ends up with. Very good. Down to half a heart, one red potion. Gonna go ahead and chug that now. That means that's not going to be in the bank for the Ganon fight. We saw how key that was to Salty's victory over Ganon. Space Cowboy going to have to tighten it up a little bit at the end here. Sniping land molars with the silver arrows. 1, 2. Oh, the third one goes left. Not going to be able to track it down in time.
It's fine. You're just going to get it with here. There you go.
Ooh. Getting it just at the last moment on the way down on a fast-moving land mola. Pretty tricky shot, but does get it. My favorite strat, Keen of Samari being put to use to take care of the Wizrobes.
We got outwized. Not this time, though.
Yeah.
Gotta poke him.
It does shoot in 4 directions, but only able to take care of 3. Gotta finish that 4th guy with something, likely the sword. Didn't quite get there in time. Pulling up the lantern, no half magic and sitting at half of his magic, so not too keen on using that fire rod in this situation.
You use it here, though. That makes it. And the pedestal was some kind of arrow capacity of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm. No shovel, as our dear chat member, Setian, was very keen to see.
Alright, he knows there's nothing of use. He's just gonna go straight to the box. Not even filling up here. Nope, need those fairies.
Yeah, the powder is one of the things that Space Cowboy had as an advantage over Salty. Opting not to waste the time to put it to use.
Yep, this was a fluteless run. He didn't need it.
Yeah, that makes that 137 even more impressive.
Yeah, they had to use a lot of saving quits, so let's see how many they get. There will be one flute, maybe, though, by the, the one where you get from killing Agatu and using the way to the pyramid.
Yeah, the one where the duck just finds a way.
It just figured out how to use the moon pearl, I guess, that one time.
Yeah. See what kind of Aghanim fight Space Cowboy we can come up with. Not as great of a start as Salty had, but can maybe clean it up. Yeah, this one looks good. All right, getting a double. Land a pair of doubles here. Nope.
This better pattern for that.
Sometimes it's good that the shadows are a little bit desynced, but I think they're starting to get almost a little too desynced. But wow, that was really good recovery there on that last phase.
Yep. Some poor slashing on Aga there.
Yeah.
This is definitely within reach. Sub 150 is still possible if he does a clean, nice skin. Easy.
Silver Arrow is going to help out with that quite a bit. No half magic, so going to probably need to be on the spot with the lantern. Also, no potion, no health recovery options here. Here comes the spins. Bails on the left side and gets hit, but using the invincibility frames to get inside the circle. And switching to that cape, this is another thing Salty did not have. The magic, though. The magic's draining. You need the magic.
Oh, he's gotta watch out here. This has,
This is scary. 2.5 hearts means he can take one hit.
Yep.
It's hard to say how many times you can use the lantern with that amount of magic, but it's a fair amount.
If he gets a torch glitch, he should be really well fine here. If he doesn't have any more magic. When he kills Ganon really quickly.
He's got those silver arrows out.
If he hits him here, he gets a double. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. This is easy.
Not going for the double. Ooh, the fire rod times it. Oh boy.
Oh, he should be fine if he just gets a double. There you go. He should be okay.
Get it. Even a triple, do it. Nope, not the fire rod. Don't use the fire rod for sure. The double, triple. Okay, not a triple. No, misses the slash. Can he get 2 out of this?
I hope he has
jiggle
enough.
the lantern. Get the very last bit of oil out of there. Come on.
I think. Oh no, does he have enough?
No, he's done. Oh,
no.
Come on now. There's a green. The green's there. Oh man. Just like undo the belt or something. Just do what you need to get the last bit of magic out. Oh, let the cape run. Just one tick too long.
He's just gonna go buy some potions.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Oh, that was so close.
He's probably thinking this is about the ending this run deserves after the flipper mishap. It makes sense that this is how the Ganon fight goes. Totally on top of things except for just a smidge of magic missing.
Yeah, he's just gonna get another. There you go. Just buy the greens. It's like I don't even need blues.
Yep.
Yeah, without the flute, see what you have to do here? You have to like progress all the way back. And he has to use the portal below Link's house because yeah. He saved and quitted, that's why.
Question from chat that is not so dumb a question. Is it possible for Flute to be in the pedestal when Meyer is a pendant? And I think the answer is no. Only way into Meyer without use of glitches is with the Flute.
Yeah.
And so if that is a pendant, it's not going to put the Flute in the pedestal.
Yeah. You can't get into Meyer then.
So depending on the medallion requirement, I think Ether Medallion might be the most interesting thing that the pedestal could have. I believe the shovel would be the most interesting thing it could have had. Well, that is a big question. Dejoto in chat, first time watching. How does this work? Well, it's a little weird here because the race is already over. Salty has already finished up the Ganon fight, and Space Cowboy is just about to finish approaching the Ganon fight. But basically, all the items in the game have been mixed up. They're not where they normally are. Yeah. And that means, first of all, you don't know where anything is going to be. Finding different items will enable you to get to certain new areas of the map. And so you're kind of... the reason these things start to existence is usually because people who love the game want a way to kind of re-experience the game. They want to play it again for the first time. So scrambling up all the items is actually a pretty good way of doing that and creating a new route, basically, to play through the game. And then people found out it's actually a pretty interesting competitive format. Introduces this element of thinking on your feet, adjusting to the items you find, especially because the mode we're doing, you actually don't start with a sword. So there are lots of situations where you have to figure out, how do I fight enemies without a sword? There are situations where you want to be picking up signposts and throwing them at enemies to take them out. It's really interesting to see the sort of decisions that players are forced to make depending on where items end up being, and it's a lot of fun. So we have a tournament organized around it. Players are going to be competing against each other every time. Every new match is a new arrangement of the items called a seed. A seed is basically just a number that the randomization program uses as a way to scramble up all the items. We have finally finished from Spacecowboy2011. Didn't get under that 150 because of that tiny little smidge of magic that didn't want to cooperate. Yeah. So the final time is 152.51. And as soon as he comes across the finish line, Space Cowboy says, GG, I totally jacked that one up.
It's okay, man. It happens to the best of us. That was a good run still.
Yeah, it was. There's all those obvious mistakes that cost a whole bunch of time. But those mistakes, honestly, pretty minor in terms of execution compared to all the things that Space Cowboy did well in that run. So can be tempting to write it all off as jacked up, but honestly, I think there's a lot to be proud of in that run.
I would say so too.
As for the question from Dejoto, I hope there's a lot to unpack there. I did my best to answer it all, and I was about to start working into possibilities of interviews with the players, as we like to do sometimes.
Well, it looks like we have it. They are going to join us, looks like.
Well, Cowboy is for sure. Yeah, Salty is as well.
There you go. Very nice.
I need to find out which of these waiting rooms they end up in. There's one madly typing away on the keyboard. Is Space Cowboy. Welcome.
It's our very own Space Cowboy.
Are you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, yes. There we go.
Okay, I'm having to turn you all up about that's all. The game was deafening. Okay.
Oh, okay. As long as that's all taken care of. Boy,
Math is hard.
Yeah,
Math is very, very hard.
it's just simple addition and subtraction, but it added up to the wrong number for one, but it added up to a big time loss doing those last few dungeons in a weird order because it was a double dip in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that was painful whenever I realized I left a chest there, and then I kind of figured I'd sank myself. What was it? I went from there, finished checking Death Mountain because I did some weird backtrack out so I could check Hookshot Cave and everything, thinking I need Ice Rod Flippers.
Yeah, we were a little confused as to why you were so adamant about going all the way back through the dungeon, but then it was like, oh, okay, he wants Hookshot Cave and things. Might have been better to save and quit out and go from the old man at some point.
Yeah, probably. I actually had never been in that situation where I found the hookshot there, and Hookshot Cave, 3 chests, because I'd already been in there once, plus the book for Ether. The same goes for the book, though.
And then real quick, I want to ask, do you have a fan going in your living room by any chance, or wherever you are?
Yes, there's a fan going full speed.
Yeah, if that could be turned down / off
Sure.
for just the next couple of minutes. I just hope he remembers to turn the mic back on.
There you go.
Oh, weird, I still hear it.
Yeah,
It's
here.
winded down now.
All right, well, we'll make do. It's not the worst thing.
That better?
Yes.
Okay, it
Little
was
bit.
probably the speakers next to it creating an interference.
So yeah, let's see. There was the flippers debacle, to be sure.
I'm not sure how much time that cost me, but it definitely pushed me out of finishing anywhere nearby, and then running out of magical and Ganon was just the icing. I didn't even care at that point. I'm like, well, I've already lost. Let's just give him a little bit more to watch before the night's over.
Yeah, that was hard. I was watching the magic tick down on the cape, and I was like, oh, I think he's gonna be okay if he gets the torch glitch. And then that didn't. Went for the fire rod. That was a pretty bold move in that situation.
I figured I'd already lost. Might as well try to make it, cool. I was off by, I think, half a second with the torch, though, with the fire rod.
Yeah, it was definitely close. Well, I definitely appreciate the mindset of approaching things from an entertainment aspect if you can't approach it from competitive.
The seed was great. I mean, from the start, pretty much, the entire world is open except Titans. So it's like, okay, crap, where do I even begin?
Yeah, analysis paralysis at that point. Sometimes you so many places to go, you end up not sure where to go, and you don't go anywhere. But you guys both did. You diverged just a little bit, but you always found ways to kind of come back together. There was a moment because neither of you really wanted to go up to Turtle Rock to see if that was where those items were. And that's where they ended up being. So there was a lot of overworld checking, and Salty was like 2 whole dungeons ahead of you. He hit the Eastern Pod combo, and you hit that later. So he was done with it as you were just starting it. And you were like, oh, he's 2 dungeons ahead. They have the same items. But you had actually spent a lot of time checking overworld locations, and after he was done with those, Salty was doing all those other places you had already checked. And then you came out of those dungeons, you were both pretty much synced up heading into Turtles Rock. So
yeah, it was. If it wasn't for the fact that the cane was located in King's Tomb, the overworld check probably would not have paid off too much. I mean, I got the my second sword upgrade was at Zora, so that was nice. The Hera gamble pendant didn't pay off, but I got another sword out of Hera. I knew Death Mountain, but since I had everything, I was going for safety rather than maybe I'll do all dungeons and hope I don't need to start looking at overworld. So that's why I cleared everything except the mid-locked items first, and then I went to Death Mountain. And from Death Mountain, it was like, well, okay, here, there. That's whenever I did the, what was it? Bow was in Moth. I got the fire rod, went to Skull Woods, got the bow. I'm like, holy crap, okay, Eastern Pod. And then I'm looking at my items, with the mitts, and I'm like, well, Death Mountain. And Turtle Rock, that laser bridge loves hoarding items.
it sure does. Yep, you're probably not gonna forget that one for a little
No.
bit.
No, that was
Yeah, it can be hard to swallow, but I do want you to know that you did play well. There's a couple mistakes that cost big time, but a lot of solid play in there as well.
yeah, there's some things. I mean, I've only done this casually. I haven't spent any time like a lot of the other people doing rando with NMG or any of the other categories. I'd spent about an hour practicing low percent moth because it's been thrown at us so much in this version. And then I go into moth with butter, red tunic, and like 13 hearts, and I don't even care. I'm just taking hits left and right.
Yeah, there was a couple of scary moth fights from both you guys. Like, you had the health to tank it, and you did, but like, you took it all the way down the health bar, and
I think I had 5 hearts left still. Around that point, I'm like, okay, I should probably put the practice I've been doing before all this to use. Because I was practicing 6 hearts, green tunic, master sword. So.
Yeah, so I just want to reiterate, I think you did well. And you're definitely not out of the tournament yet. Swiss format means there's more matches to play, so we wish you the best of luck going forwards.
Oh yeah, and Salty, well played. I hope you enjoyed the seed as much as I. Turtle Rock locking the rest of the seed was phenomenally fantastic.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was definitely an interesting seed. Another one of these. All the items are in Turtle Rock. I've had a few of these recently, it feels like.
So, what were you thinking coming out of Eastern in Palace of Darkness?
I guess at that point I just got so I was trying to figure out I guess I was looking for mainly the flippers, the hook shot, and either the flute or the book at that point in time. So my idea was kind of just search around all the overworld spots. I like clearing dungeons generally when I can. I wasn't really too keen on heading into Turtle Rock at that point in time, because the main thing I thought there was, like, you could have checked some things. You obviously couldn't have done Trinex. But even the laser bridge, according to the logic, I guess you couldn't have actually done, because you need either the cape or the cane or the mirror shield, and we didn't have any of those at that point in time. So I tried to stay away from there. And then eventually when I headed up to Death Mountain, I almost headed in there the first time when I was in Dark Death Mountain, but I headed back and finished off all the overworld stuff before I headed back there.
Yeah, you had a really big lead coming out of the Eastern Palace of Darkness stuff. You just came out of it, and Space Cowboy was going in. So you had like a 2 dungeon lead, and other than that, you had all the same items. So it was just a number of those overworld locations that Space Cowboy kind of already ticked off, and you made the same decision that he did. That was, these are probably better places to check than heading into Turtle Rock. So one by one, you went all the way down the list, and the gap closed more and more and more.
Yeah, pretty much there was nothing in all those spots too, so it was just me searching around for 15 minutes or so, finding nothing. It was kind of a frustrating point, like it tends to be at that point in time, but yeah, it all worked out. I'm really happy actually with the time I got, all things considered, like considering that kind of trolliness of the seed going in and out of Turtle Rock like you had to.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with that.
Fluteless as well. Yeah, 137 is a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the boots first thing, right, kind of helped that.
Yeah, that was good. That was right off the bat. I've seen a couple of bootsless seeds.
That seems really common these days.
So it was good to see that and get dashing right away. I
guess
well, go ahead.
I guess according to logic, really what you were supposed to do, I guess you were supposed to get the book in Turtle Rock and kind of mirror out and then go get the cane in Desert and then come back to Turtle Rock is what the logic wanted you to do to get all those items off the bridge. So that would have been really trolly if you actually followed that.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I don't really think about the requirements needed for the laser bridge chest just because there's so many ways to just kind of get around.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it. I kind of struggled getting through it, which is why I went out that door first, because I figured I was going to die for sure trying to get all those chests.
Yeah, actually, there was a bit of a health crunch for, I think, both of you. Definitely not a place you want to die, especially if you don't check one of those last few chests, and then you might decide, well, it's not worth going back and getting it, and maybe it has something good. like we saw today.
Yeah, you're put in those situations when that happens, and it's always tough. Do I waste like 3 minutes going back for one chest, or do I just gamble that there's nothing in there, right? And then when there is something in there, you're kicking yourself for days afterwards.
Yeah, even if it was like the correct play, right, in terms of odds and whatnot, it could not be worth it in terms of what the numbers say. But if the item does happen to be there, you're not going to forget it for quite a while.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it goes. So, starting off with a win here in the tournament, going to start getting put up against some of the other people who won their first round matches. It's only going to get tougher, I think, from here on out. I guess with the way Swiss works, it kind of goes up and down a little bit till it averages out. But still, you've got some tough matches coming up, and we wish you all the best in the tournament.
Thanks very much. I hope to do well.
All right. So, we're going to wrap things up. Again, I want to remind you, Race in Progress might even be wrapping up, depending on how quick they're moving, over on twitch.tv/speedgaming. But before you go, like Hiei said in the chat, links are out down there. You want to follow the runners, SaltyPhry, Spacecowboy2011. I've been one of your commentators. I don't know if Hiei has bailed on me, or if he's still here ready to jump in. I see the unmute. He's still here. I'm Mythical 9, and you are
EA408.
And you can find links to our channels in chat if you thought we were lovely people worthy of following. And our tracker, who did a great job as well, Who42Baker. That's also in chat. Follow whoever you want to follow. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will tell you should probably head over to Speed Gaming, see what's going on over there, because there's so much A Link to the Past happening, as well as all kinds of other things. Final Fantasy 1 randomizer happening tomorrow. The Dragon Warrior randomizer finals-ish, I think, are happening tomorrow. Super Metroid, there's a 2D Zelda relay race happening on the weekend. All kinds of stuff. If you want to find out about some of that stuff, you can look at the schedule there. And I really hope that you do, and you check it out, and you have fun, and you come back next time. We hope to see you then.
Take care, everybody. Head off to Speed Game if you want to see another randomizer. But until then, see you next rando.